Hello and welcome to the Talk with Tariro. We are in the Women's Month and definitely we have a special bias on bringing females as our guests. And today on the show we are tackling the issue of dysfunctional homes and the impact that they have. We do know when a home is dysfunctional, it will impact the boy child, it will impact the girl child. But because it's Women's Month, we are going to be looking at how it impacts the girl child. And on the program, we have Mbuya Vapiyasoni. Chitende. Alice.
We are here on the program with Mbuya Vapiyasoni, tackling dysfunctional homes like Tari said. Let's look deep into what exactly is meant by dysfunctional homes. What are the effects of a dysfunctional home? Mbuya Vapiyasoni, what do you understand by dysfunctional home?
When we say dysfunctional, we're simply saying the family is not functioning.
Yeah.
And now we get to look into it in this way. We have the father and the mother, and we have children. It means they are not cooperating. And this is mainly caused by the parents themselves. Sometimes they forget that they brought children in this. Yeah, they have their own problems, but then they forget that there are innocent souls involved in everything that they'll be doing. It's either they are alcoholics and they forget that they also have to pay attention to the kids, or it's an abusive environment for the kids, or maybe they are workaholics. Because sometimes we think that if the parents have money, it means they can just give the children money and not, and they then forget that they need to be connected
And involved.
in their lives. Money is not everything.
Define for us a functional home. I'm sorry, you have defined a dysfunctional home, but now we want to distinguish between the two. We want to know the difference.
A functional family, it means that the mother and the father and the children are cooperating. And it also means that they are involved in their children's life 24/7.
They understand the language of each other.
Exactly. And if you look at it, when you have children, they're all different. You can have 3 children, and they have different mannerisms, they have different characters. So it means you take your time to study them individually. Ukaona pane mwana usingatuki kuti akuteerere. Pane mwana wauno okay, sit down. Pane mwana anoshandiswa shamu. So kids are different. It means as parents, if the family is functional, you sit down and say, okay, our kids are like this. This is how we run the family together. So we are simply saying you don't run the house individually as husband and wife. You run it together.
In our African culture, we think that a family is father, mother, children. But there is more to it. We agree, right?
Yeah.
There is more to it. That's our challenge in Africa. The way we are handling our children, the way we are handling our families is far, far away from how a healthy family is supposed to be handled.
I thought we were actually better than maybe comparing with the Western countries. I thought we were more family than they are.
I don't think so.
I think they promote individualism, and the family, you can just do anything that you want. They have that liberty. But as Africans, we have a certain way we do things as a family. In order for it to be a family, we have a certain way we run things. And I think we have more toxic families in Africa because of that.
Explain more on that.
In a family, people expect, okay, in this family setup, if the father says you don't wear trousers, if you're a child and you prefer trousers more than skirts and dresses, then according to our family, you cannot do that. You see how it is. And at the end of the day, if you don't allow a child to do what they want, it means they'll drift away from you. And if you're too strict, a child will not tell you anything that's going on in their lives.
And when they get a chance to do what they want, they will do it.
If you don't give your children attention, and if you don't follow through their lives, and if you don't give them an ear, someone will definitely give them an ear.
And from your own experience, what would you say, maybe share with us some of the impact of a dysfunctional family on the girl child that you have witnessed? It could be from your own community, it could be from friends.
You can have both parents, but you still feel you're alone in this world. It's very possible, because they are minding their own businesses. They gave birth to you, they are done. So just find out on your own. And it's also because there are certain topics that we avoid as families. So many topics we avoid, like a girl child. For your father to sit you down and say, do you have a boyfriend, and ask you those questions. I think because of that dialogue, that conversation, it draws you closer together as a family. I think it's very important for a father to be closer to the daughter, and the mother to be closer to
the boy child.
You know how it is. You listen to your father more. Because when it comes to, I'll give an example of my mom. We were not really close, but I was closer to my father.
Your father, exactly.
But then he had cultural values. There were certain things that we could not talk about, of which we were supposed to talk about those things, because I had someone from outside to tell me some of the things. Like, for example, I'm the only girl in my family. I grew up with 2 boys, my brother and my younger brother. Is just the 3 of us. So I had to discover some of the things that girls, like, for example, putting on makeup. I didn't have anyone to teach me that. And my mom, obviously, with her age, she won't be able to teach me that. I got to discover most of the things from outside, because in that family, there is nothing like that, because they have their cultural values, and time has moved. So, so at least if we communicate now, I take you to my world, and then make sure that you also know what's trending, and we have that conversation. We are playful around each other, because ndine mwana wenyu mukasadaro ndichatsvaka shamwari nevanoenderana nezvandiri kuita.
We will continue with our discussion after this short break. Welcome back. Our discussion on the Talk with Tariro continues. Coming back to you, Mbuya Vapiyasoni, you spoke about within a dysfunctional home, it can be an abusive environment. Parents can be workaholics,
yes,
where they are spending their time maybe doing work. That's really challenging.
Yeah.
And you have actually challenged me in there, because oftentimes we tend to then spend a lot of time working, because you are saying, I'm working for my children.
Yes.
But there's a cry for help from the children,
and you
who are
expect
saying,
them to understand.
yes, we want to have time with our parents. But parents are saying, I'm going to be making sure that I work. If it means I work 20 hours out of 24 hours, so be it, so that I can provide for my children. But children are saying, we want time with you,
yes,
to sit and talk about these other issues.
Yes.
How do we bring the balance?
I think you just have to find time to sit with your children and ask what's going on in their life. You can even, okay, when you're having dinner, that's the proper time to say, okay, phones away. How was your day? It's very important. Even if someone asks me at this age, how are you really? It's really important. Saka, you can strike a balance by creating time. I know sometimes it's not natural for you to like think about those things, but if you can even put a reminder so that you get used to it. At first it's not natural, but it becomes natural because it's really vital.
In this day and age, because of social media, you know, we spend more time on social media, we find fun on social media, and imagine when I get back from work, I go on my bed, just like me. I go on my bed, I want my phone with me, and then Brianna runs to me, Mommy, this, Mommy. And I'm like, wait, okay, I'll attend to you. Go back, I'll call you, okay? And she's like, but I want to spend time with you. Exactly. You know, we take that for granted. But it's very important, like you're saying, Mbuya Vapiyasoni, it's very important that we put our phones away and you just make time for your child. But come, let's talk. Come, even if it's for 30 minutes, come, let's talk. So how was your day? So how is your teacher? There is a time this guy asked me, he came to my place and was like, hiya, Brianna. He was talking to my daughter. Hiya, Brianna. Who is what's the name of your teacher? Before she answered, he came to me and asked, what's the name of your child's teacher? I was like, you know, face yabo. And this is
exactly.
So he taught me, Alice, you need to go to your child's school, get to know the teacher, get the number, see the classroom,
everything
talk
that's
to,
happening.
You see,
be involved.
Be involved.
100%.
I learned, you know, from that day I learned a lot. So
what difference does it make? Maybe let's find out.
Okay, and it is also like we have our own way of living, and it's not okay. This is perfect. But then they also have their own. So you need to meet halfway.
yeah,
You need to meet halfway. Find out what's going on in their lives and what makes them happy.
do you want us to watch cartoons together? Do you want us to go for a movie? Maybe she's an adult. Okay, choose a movie, then we can go. She's a teenager. Let's go together. Go together. You get to understand their way of thinking, how they view life.
Like I mentioned, it's parenting is not easy. We have expressive children, like my kids. They tell you what they want. But we have other kids who are just quiet in their corner, and they're like, Mommy doesn't love me. So it's your duty. The moment you bring a soul on this earth, you're responsible full time. So it's not really about making sure they get good education. That's what you think, Kuti, it's best for them. That's why at the end of the day, parents vano impose on vana kuti, okay, so this one is intelligent. This one is going to be a doctor. Who told you that?
Exactly.
Because you didn't take time to connect with your kids. So when they're growing, you're focusing on what you think is important, and you're leaving out what's important for them.
You don't even
you
know
lose your
how
children.
they're gifted.
I'll give an example of my daughter. She's 4. I'm picking, okay, she can draw. I'm picking, oh, she loves singing. I'm picking, oh, instead of drawing, there's so many things. She's actually shaping letters at 4. So it's something that you see. But it doesn't mean that that's who she is. She'll grow. Maybe she's fascinated. She loves acting because mommy is an actress. But when she grows, you then discover, oh, it was because she was just seeing me as the only role model, you see. So when she grows, she gets to experience some of the different things. Then she says, okay, now I want to be a nurse. Okay. At 20, she'll say, I want to be a model. So you need to follow through their lives in order for you to be connected to them and see how they are changing. The changes, you're supposed to know all the changes.
Let's talk about the single parents. Most of us think that by virtue of being a single parent, you are dysfunctional. Your family is dysfunctional.
The most important thing is to make sure that the father is involved if he is around. If he wants to be part of your child's life, in as much as they don't provide, because it's also sana mighty noti haunacha uri kupa mwana saka hauoni mwana wako. That's between the two of you. It has nothing to do with the child. The child, you discover, Kuti, the child, they'll grow with so much bitterness because they're saying, okay, you made a decision for me. I wanted to be with my dad. So if you have that opportunity and if you know where the father is, please Make sure the child gets to meet the dad, even the family. It's not about money. It's about what the child wants.
Yeah. So what would be your final message to parents out there? In the third segment, we would want to meet Mbuya Vapiyasoni because definitely for people, once you are here, you can't just focus on serious things. So let's finish off with the serious things.
Okay.
Your final parting shot, particularly addressing dysfunctional families.
Okay. Children are very important. And parenting is the number one project that is more important than anything else. You can never graduate in parenting, but then keep on learning from other families as well. If you see a family that is functional, try to learn one or two things because it's not easy. We learn from each other. We get ideas from everywhere. So look around you. Make sure your family is happy. Ask them questions. Be with them. It's very important.
Well, I think there is a lot to learn about parenting. It's not just a term. There is a lot to learn. Like she said, it's a project. That means a lot has to be invested. Let's catch up in the last and final segment of the talk.
Welcome back. We continue with our third and final segment, and now we are with the real Mbuya Vapiyasoni. Mbuya Vapiyasoni.
Magadigo.
For Magadigo.
Isitotambura satini nazvo. Tiri nani pana vangu.
Mbuya Vapiyasoni. Sekuru Vapiyasoni vari kupi?
It's an emotional story. Mwanangu. Tokunototanga kuchema. Unozviona. Zvakaitika ndezvokuti baba vakati ndakumbonotenga newspaper. Ndiye veye vakandisvova.
Saka ari kutamba ubaba ndiani muupenyu hwavanhu?
Ndine zvikundla zvose izvozvo ndiri ndoga. Ndakati by mighty by thunder I will raise these children. Vanhu vanofunga kuti kapasina baba imba yatova dysfunctional.
Munomboridza nhare here? Munenge muchiridzirani?
Kuridza nhare
kuti imba yenyu ive functional.
Kufonera vanhu vandotaura nomusiki anodhina nenyaya dzangu ndoisa bvi pasi ndoti Jehovha ndouya navana ava handiti ndimi makavati vauye pano panyika handiti unozviona ndobva ndarayira mweya yese ingada kukanganisa vana vangu. I pray titend kuti chakachenjerei wonderful.
Saka mune makore mangwani naMbuya Vapiyasoni?
Pamakore kotogozvitaurireko ndiri mu6th floor.
6th floor.
Good.
Makatanga rini zvokuita zvenyu zvokuti setsa izvo zvichi?
Ndichambozviva here? Ndoona sekuti kuend of chiriko 2020 vanangu ndichaziva here ineyo 2020 ikoko ndobva ndakuona kuti yeshu kuchaneri zvaravhurika ndakangoona masuwo achivhurika.
Makavara?
Ndikati unomukana ushandise uri munhukadzi sevenza kuti munozviona.
Mbuya Vapiyasoni, vana munoranga sei?
Unoziva kare ndaive nehasha dzokuti ndaibata chero chitina waingozopona akangoona ndati fi ndeichireva kuti ndoko handi unozviona achitaura paya ndoti fi mwana aidotiza kuzi chasara ibhemba kana unozviona. Ndakaoita vanhu vakanditi you don't raise children like that. Otherwise you are transferring bitterness yako nababa wakuisa kupi kuvana. Vakashara kundisiya ndivo ko vana vagotadzei.
Asi makatora nguva yakadii kuti musvigamuchire kuti
yakakura. It's not easy, you know, the bitterness kept on driving my life until now. But then, like I mentioned, there are also organizations who deal with that, mind you. Yes, we have Childline. Need to give you tips on parenting. You don't just beat up a child like that. Saka iko zvino ndinongoti ndakangozoreza vana vangu ndikavati you know what vanangu baba venyu vakatisiya chirege kundipa dambudziko itai kuti
moita mungavafa zvenambuya.
Zvakafanana nokuti vakangoinga tingazvo zvakangofanana vanangu ukangozviudza mumusoro mako as a single mother kuti baba vapana havasi kuda kuva involved. Take up the challenge. You can and you will. Kwete zvokuti kwai unomirira uchamirira uchichema uchiti kwai baba vachauya vakasauya wodini. Ndoona sekuti depression dzinoitika dziya nemasingle mothers kungofunga kuti vachauya zvoshe chinditarirai neziso rerudo vakadoinza ndosarana navana vanokura vane bitterness newe nokuti ndiwo uri kuvadii uri kuvarera. You're the one with the kids, so you might as well deal with that bitterness in order for you to raise those children.
Mbuya Vapiyasoni chirungu makadzidzisa
takadzidza mastandard kaya aya mastandard
makadzidza kupi kwaimi Mbuya munotaura kunge chikaranga
ndakadzidza kwabushu
ndokupi kwabushu
koko asi kuti takawanikwa nyasha nomusiki. I'm a retired teacher. I'm a retired tutor.
Okay.
Nadzidzisa kuuniversity Mbuya Vapiyasoni
ikoko kuhigh school nokuprimary ikoko asi kandada kuzvipa chikundla chokuita tutor. I was exceptional. Saka unoona wega kuti ndakanzi ndidzidzise ikoko asi ndine potential to be a tutor. Unozvipa wega chikundla vanhu havakupimbirisha.
Saka industry yenyu yakamira sei?
Inogogonera nevanhu vanohlisa asi kuti maartist ari panguva yakaoma ukasangostenda ground rako unochiona, especially vanhukadzi unouya unoti kwai ndoda kupa basa, at the end of the day akutaura shema udii noiurutsvaka mari handinoziva, but stand your ground. Chako chinokuvinga chete, chako ndechako. So vanhukadzi ngatisevenzei, simbe kumujuru
enda unodzidza pamuonde.
Shoimba futi
kuti kuna machi kana Mbuya Vapiyasoni inonzi Women's Month yakakoshei kwamuri inini semuchemberi wechikadzi?
Ndinoona sokuti Women's Month yakakosha. It's a reminder to all women that you are not just a woman because of gender. Inokuremind of the reasons why you were made a woman. Worangarira responsibilities ako as a woman, worangarira power yaunayo as a woman, worangarira futi kuti takai 50-50.
Inobuda here 50-50?
Inobuda. Munoona takaregwa tichinzi kwai varume ndo vari pamusoro vanoita zvose anti munozviona, but varume vacho vari kutiza vakadzi vosara, zvinototiradza 50-50 is possible.
Kutiza mudzimba
responsibility. Regai ndikuudze, we have leaders. Women can lead because vazhinji vacho masingle mother vari kureisa varume ndonyepa
atitendi chokwadi.
Saka uchiona varume vachihoti kwaini ndonzi yekera, hakuna murume unotora nguva achikwera nemwana achimubvisa dhaipa achimubatsira kuti mwanangu aya ndo mamenasi, aya ndo chivashoma, varume vavo ndogona kuti varava izvi zvipano.
tichipedzisa chirongwa chedu Mbuya Vapiyasoni, shoko ramungada kupa mhuri yeZimbabwe inini nderekuti takangotarisa upenyu hwenyu, sakomiti yenu itakatarisa even mwedzi watiri weWomen's Month, tisati tambopinda kwaana Mbuya Vapiyasoni kudzanga achimbotudza nyaya yemafunctional dysfunctional homes. Shoko rinobva kuna Mbuya Vapiyasoni chaiwe nderekuti
inini ndiri panyaya nhau dzavakadzi vanomirira kuda kuitika. Iri ndori pakuvarume ati munozviona, ukaona mudzimai asina side hustle yake ari kungoti kwai at the moment I'm not doing anything, don't date. Chipu nokuti you have to make sure kuti musikana unodanana naye ane zvaari kuita, because ana adova mwana wako svika asina zvakuita. Ndozvadoda kuti tiri muWomen's Month mamwe mared flags vakadzi vanozomaona, asi vane varega zvinhu zvichiitika nokuti havadi kushanda voda mari yemunhu.
titende
tinotenda Mbuya Vapiyasoni. This was a very exciting episode with Mbuya Vapiyasoni. As in this month of March, learn to stand your ground, learn to work hard for yourself, and tisingakangani nyaya yedu yatanga tichitaura on dysfunctional homes. To you out there, parents, learn to have a relationship with your kids, learn to be involved. This was The Talk with Tariro and Mbuya Vapiyasoni, the intelligent comedian. Let's catch up next week.